me out. This is So Says Mr. Thunder. I'm Mr. Thunder, and today is Sunday, March the 3rd, 2024. This your first time coming to the podcast. I'm so glad that you made it. Somehow you heard about it, but you made it here today to listen to me and spend a little time today. I also want to thank those who have been with us on this journey since the beginning. It's definitely been an adventure that has definitely taken us places that we never thought we would be, but we need to be there. And when we get there, we realize that we're where we're supposed to be at the time. So, with that being said, I want to thank y'all as well. But today, I have a special guest, and I had to kind of bend her arm behind her back to get on here because she don't really like talking that much, but she loves to run her mouth, and if she got something to say, she definitely gonna say it. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, because I'm just elated that I had the I had the opportunity to capture this. So introduce yourself.
My name is Sky Angel Marie Thunder. Y'all may know me as Sky, or may not know me at all. Y'all should though.
Yeah, sure. If they know me, they know you. They know who you are, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, anyways, this is my baby, right? This is my baby. This the one that drives me crazy, but also drives me to do better at the same time. So, right now we are spending some time together because she's in school, and we're doing a little daddy-daughter time, and it's all to the good. We just got done eating. And we were just talking a little bit, right, about, what you got going on, some of the things that you learned in the process of just being an adult. And you were telling me about some of the things that you kind of put together, right? So you mentioned, like, looking forward or not looking too far forward. Like, what does that look like to you?
I'd say during the past semester, I've been going to a psych clinician and just been asking for advice, trying to get my life in order because school is real stressful. Like, college is extremely stressful, and there was a point where I was grasping at straws trying to get order into my life. And so she would help me, give me suggestions of what to do, maybe coping strategies, or maybe things I can try to do to make things seem less drastic. And so I started to realize that looking deep into the future, trying to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in the future, gave me extreme anxiety. I don't know what that looks like, and the unknown is scary.
So where are you at right now? So for those of the people who don't know, like, where are you at in your journey or your education?
Right now I'm a senior in college. I'm on track to graduate in the fall.
Let them know where you at.
I'm at PV, you know.
Okay.
I'm a psych major. So I'm on track. Like, I gotta hit the ball. Like, I'm about to graduate, and that's already scary just because it's early. It wasn't expected that I was gonna graduate a semester early. And if I try to think about, grad school, post-grad school, what does my career look like when I'm 25, 30, that just really stresses me out. So I can't, me personally, and this is me, I can't look that deep into the future and worry about it, because it'll really, like, I'll be stuck.
Right.
I won't be able to focus on the present because I'll be too worried about stuff that I can't control. So I started to kind of bring my radar in that radius of my everyday thoughts. I started to kind of bring that circle in and in and in. So if it's Monday, my radius is going to be for that week.
Right.
Maybe I might have a thought here and there about something important that's next week or the week after that, but I'm going to really put my energy into the stuff that's this week so that I can do this stuff well, so that I can efficiently, get these tasks done and then not stress myself out over something that's not even tomorrow.
Right. So let me ask you this: how did you get to that point of that's the format, right? Like I always talk about a format and a message to something that you're doing, right? And this sounds like you've created a format for your life. How did you get to that point? Like when did?
I'd say I got to a point where I was fed up. Like, you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired. I started to realize that something was wrong. I could never, it felt like I could never catch my breath. I could never have a steady pace. And obviously life, it's not supposed to be
So
steady.
do you have like an example for kids? Like let's say a college student is listening to this episode. Like give an example of something that rings true to the format that you created. Like make it real.
Okay, so college student, let's say, no matter what you try to do, you just seem to always be submitting assignments at the last minute. Even if you maybe try to work on them early or think about them early, for some reason you just can't get a steady schedule of, I should do my work this many hours a week so that by the time it's the due date, I'll already be done.
Mm-hmm.
Or college student, you not eating as much as you should because time is either passing by too slow too fast, or you can't get a good schedule of eating, or you can't get the motivation to make yourself some food or go to the dining hall, and so that starts to weigh on you and stuff like that.
So give me an example of a day in the life, a sky, and now you've applied this newfound format of how you know what I'm saying, operate in this world. Like what does that look like? Because I'll tell you, when I went to college, I was an athlete, so my experience was different. My stress level was, I need to be able to perform rather than schoolwork, right? Schoolwork was important, but my stress level was different because I had people controlling what I did and how I did it. But for you're out here on your own. You moved far from home at first, and now you're a little bit closer, and now you're figuring it out. What does a day look like for you?
Well, I started to use Google Calendar, and that's really helped because as soon as I wake up, I'll look at my Google Calendar to see what's first on the agenda. But not only what's first on the agenda, what does my block look like? So let's say I have class from 10 to 2. Like I have a block of 2 or 3 classes from 10 to 2. I'm like, okay, 10 to 2, I can do that. And so then I try to plan, if I'm going to be on this side of campus at 2 p.m., the MSC closes at 2 p.m. All right, I'm going to plan to get food at Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A doesn't do lunch hours. Or I'm going to plan to go home and make lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I leave class, I know where I'm going. Mm-hmm. I'm not sitting there like, what should I do? I know exactly where I'm going. Let's say after 2 I eat. And then I'll go and reshape my room. I try to make my bed in the morning. I do. I really just throw the cover back over, but that's making my bed. I try to make my bed in the morning. I try to put my stuff up as soon as I'm done with it, like my makeup, my toothbrush, my skincare. I try to put that up, but sometimes I like to come home and just maybe.
So are you aware of all this while you're doing it?
Yes.
So
I try to plan it.
All right. So would you say you're very anal when it comes to your process?
Yes. Because if my plan doesn't go as planned, it makes me really upset. Like it takes away my motivation.
Okay, so now back to that, right? That's how you get to that point. Now you figured out how to deal with it. That's called what? You went to your clinician and you kind of developed this way of thinking. We were talking about it earlier. You said instead of looking all the way forward, you kind of stay in this area.
In the present.
In the present, right? So the present for you looks like today, and you take every day as it comes, right? So how does that make you feel now that you were able to develop that way of thinking?
It definitely let some anxiety wash away almost instantly. I think my mind is constantly like racing about everything, just certain things. And so for me to physically do things that just takes that chunk of worry away, it really lets me be anxious, quote unquote, or worry, quote unquote. It depends on how you take it and depends on the severity of the task or the situation. But it allows me to just kind of really center my focus on what needs to be done now, or during this day, or during this week period, instead of me trying to be like, it's Monday, but I'm worrying about something that's on Sunday. And then on Tuesday, I'm worrying about something that's on Sunday.
Right.
And I'm messing up the things that are on Monday and on Tuesday and on Wednesday.
I get you. Controlling what you can control. So now that you do that, right, what would you tell Sky 3 years ago going into college? Like, if you were able to drop a nugget on Sky, or just any college student coming in, what would it be?
Honestly, I mean, the politically correct answer would be to give advice and, give some wisdom. But I think as a freshman, there ain't nothing that nobody can say to you that's going to alter how that year is finna go.
Yeah.
I feel like freshman year is just something you really like. I think that's why a lot of people.
So let's stop there, because that's a whole nother subject. But let's go back to the point where a student, right, was where you were just kind of going nuts. What would you tell them?
I would tell them to think about their future, like their college future. Not too far in the future, but definitely I feel like as a senior versus a freshman, I definitely have some regrets about Sky. You could have went to class more, like, because now, well, with transferring, luckily I had a clean slate. So, but let's say I didn't. Let's say my GPA carried over and I was still stuck trying to raise it up. I would have been like, freshman Sky, you could have did a little bit better. I know it was stressful. I know it was new. I know it was hard, but you could have did a little bit better. You could have really thought more long term. Like, okay, look, if I mess up my GPA now, how hard is it going to be to get it up in the next year, the next 2 years, and when I'm a senior?
Yeah. So with that being said, being a psych major, right, this lesson, this knowledge and this wisdom that you just obtained and created for yourself, if you had to do a presentation on it, what would you call it?
It'd probably be like adaptation, a type of adaptation.
Adaptation? Adaptation. What is adaptation by definition?
You change according to your environment for the better.
That's dope. That's what we're going to call this episode, adaptation. See, you didn't even know that was going to happen, did you? You was worried. Well, look, baby, like I said, I just wanted to get you on here because I feel like you have something that somebody can benefit from. And that's the whole point of this podcast, is to gather information and create a situation where people have the ability to seek wisdom, right? By applying the knowledge that is gained, which is the education that you've had. And now you're in a better place, right? There's always a way to do something better. And adaptation is the best way. Right. Yeah. So with that being said, I thank you for being on here. It's been wonderful. This is going to help somebody. I already know it is. And
y'all hearing me, but y'all not listening.
Yeah, well, that's why you got to get back on here, right? So with that being said, is there anything you want to share with them? Any way, if you want people to contact you, or if you feel like you got something that people, need to hear, how can they get a hold of you?
Instagram is SKYESETUAL. You don't need my phone number.
No, we don't need that.
Yeah.
We good on that. So, well, look, I'm
contact my receptionist if you like to get in touch.
Yeah, you can reach me on here. So, with that being said, Sky, I appreciate you for being on here. I really, have learned more and more about you as we continue to talk, so I appreciate that. So with that being said, this has been So Says Mr. Thunder. I'm Mr. Thunder. I'm a Native American of this country, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. You want to sign off?
And I'm Sky Thunder. I'll see y'all later, I guess.
All right, y'all. So like I said, you can reach me on Instagram at So Says Mr. Thunder. I'm on all podcast platforms. This one specifically is Spreaker. Still working on perfecting my craft. Got the lab up. Getting ready to put the studio together, so there'll be some video coming behind that. So stay tuned for that as well. So you'll never know who you're going to see. But if you want to be a part of this podcast, definitely I'm looking for 10 minutes of your best. Just come with, you know what I'm saying, your truth and your wisdom, and we'll go ahead and share it with the world. And with that being said, you can find me on Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio, and things like that. So, and you can just Google me. Also YouTube. So YouTube, these recordings, yeah, it's on YouTube. So the only thing is the audio on YouTube. Now we got to put the video.
Big moves.
Yeah. So anyways, I appreciate y'all for spending a little time with me. And with that being said, this has been So Says Mr. Thunder. I got a little thunder with me, and we out.
Wow.